Hey, what's up, dudes? Welcome to the channel. I'm just some guy, and if you're new here, welcome, welcome. If you're not new here, well, welcome back. So I just wanted to walk around a little bit out here because it is snowing real good. I hope that this shows up on the video, but I just wanted to kind of walk around out here and talk a little bit to you. It's not a workout video or anything like that, or a cooking video. This is going to be just going to be a me yapping video, which is something I haven't done in a little bit now. But I was thinking about it, and one of the things, so I did this video a while ago. It was like the beginning of last year, and it was 3.5 years gone. And I was reflecting back on that as I've been making videos and getting back into thumbnails and just doing stuff in general. And you know, I thought about it, and it's like, you know, I've been a creative type for a really long time, and I don't know where in the process that fell off when I stopped doing that, right? I used to make gaming videos constantly. You know, even back in the day, I used to make wood sword props for cosplays. And I always wanted to do stuff like that. Like, even when I got into like theater and, you know, things along those lines, I always wanted to create. I feel real good when I'm out in the garage, when I'm working on wood. When I was making swords, I would just put headphones on and I would just jam, and I would just sand, because, well, I was making wood swords, right? You know, even when I was in theater. And so I used to be a welder. I used to work in the theater's shop. So I used to do carpentry. I used to do welding and stuff like that. And I always had a real fun time figuring out projects. And, you know, I always had, back in the day, before I got into like IT and computer and project management and account management and all that stuff, I was always all my jobs were very kind of like hands-on-y, stuff like that. I was always like doing things, right? And so I'm not gonna blame like moving into you know, IT, into computer stuff. I'm not gonna blame that for the lack of doing things, but I know at some point I just stopped doing things. It was terrible because it felt like, you know, looking back on it, I don't think that like I was cognizant of it at the time, but I feel like looking back on it now, there was just a time where like something happened, and I'm not sure what. I mean, I've got some inklings into what it was, you know, maybe my dad passing, stuff like that. Because, well, I mean, even maybe the start of COVID, right? Because, like, you know, if I'm thinking back on it, like, even pre-COVID, like, I got out and I did things. I went to Japan. I went to anime conventions. Maybe I wasn't, you know, crafting, but I did more things. And I think that like the isolation really killed a lot of that. And I, you know, like kind of thinking about it, right? Like, yeah, that might be the issue, because, you know, I didn't go anywhere. We couldn't go anywhere. You know, and the more isolated I got, the more, you know, lazy I got, and the less that I wanted to do. Now, some people, you know, they would have probably went out into the garage and, you know, made stuff, or, you know, did things, but I didn't. And that was probably that was probably a me problem, because like pre 4 years ago, I was, I think, like 230 pounds. I traveled. When I went to Japan, I had no problems walking. I would walk 5, 6, 7 miles a day. I, was, yeah, sometimes it was a little bit rough, but, it wasn't too bad overall. But it feels like I'm kind of, I don't know, man, like this whole like working out thing recently has kind of rekindled a lot of my feelings for creating, right? So like during the day when Ricky's over, we will we started working on thumbnails, and I went back and I looked at a whole lot of my old gaming thumbnails, because I was trying to show her, like, hey, this is how I used to do like layers and stuff like this, and like, oh, you can do a gradient overlay like this, and blah blah blah, and like, here's how you like snip things out and everything, magic eraser, blah blah blah, and it really like brought back a little bit of that like creative flair that I had, and of course, as soon as I come outside to like, enjoy the snow, it stops snowing. So classic. But I think that having, like, getting out, rekindling old friendships, seeing people, has helped me a little bit in terms of, my isolation and like having projects to put my mind to. So like, I set up stuff in the garage or in the basement for knife grinding, and I need to go to the store. Actually, I was going to go to the store today and get a propane tank, because for Christmas I got a metal smelter from my mom. I also got a meat grinder too, which is really cool. Two things that I really wanted. So that was awesome, and I want to work on staying consistent this year, and I want to work on rekindling my creativeness. I feel like, like I had mentioned, if you go back and you look at that video where I talked about, just losing 3.5 years of my life, I've come a long way since that video, actually. I'm back to working out. I feel like my financial situation's a little bit better. Granted, it took a little bit of a hit lately, but that's a whole side thing. And I'm getting out more, and I've got plans for the future, for things that I want to do. I just got to make them happen, man. I told people that, I'm hitting my midlife crisis, and I'm at that fork in the road. Either I become a bladesmith, a master bladesmith with a cute golden retriever, and I, move into the woods more so than I am now, and just do that, or I moved to Japan and opened up a burger place. Now, I could potentially do both, right? I could become a bladesmith, move to Japan, open up a burger place, and then befriend an old Japanese swordsmith that will train me in the ways of the katana, of the blade, right? That would be the long-term dream, but we got to set small goals for myself. And so, like, the first big goal for me for 2025 is just staying consistent. That's something that I've always had a problem with, and I think like the big thing is like, I'm here alone, you know. And when you don't have anybody at all to hold you accountable, and it's rough sometimes, because you know, you don't really have anybody to hold you accountable, like, at all. I need to figure out what's going on with, so this tree right here, I like this tree, but I've got this, like, I don't know, lichen, mold, something growing on like all of my trees, and I need to figure out what it is and what I need to do to like keep my trees alive and not dying. If you're a tree expert, you know, let me know in the comment section what I need to do to keep my trees alive and keep whatever that is off of it. If it's bad, I don't even know. I have one in the back that's like covered in that stuff, and it's not doing great. So yeah, any help you could give me there would be great. But yeah, no, I think that 2025, as long as I can keep myself motivated and nothing like earth-shatteringly terrible happens like right in the beginning of the year, like last year sucked. I was you know, I had everything going well, everything was fine, and then I lost my job, which thankfully I had a backup job lined up, so it was pretty quick to get into, you know, into the next job. But you know, that kind of threw a wrench in the work, mostly because the job I lost paid more than the one that I picked back up, and it had, you know, it paid more, and it had paid health insurance, so I took a bit of a hit going into the other one. But hey, you know, it's better than not having one lined up, right? So that was kind of a hit, and then, you know, I was a little bit depressed at that, and, you know, stuff like that. So that was kind of bad, plus like I wasn't feeling very good. But now I think my job is pretty secure. I've been working out more, and so I feel a lot better. And I think that overall, my prospects for 2025, as long as, you know, fingers crossed, knock on wood. Hold on, let me come over here and knock on some wood real quick so that we don't jinx ourselves. So knock on wood, that we do not run into any sort of major issues, at least in the beginning of the year. You know, midway through the year, that's fine. You know, we'll sort that out when we get to that one. But, you know, beginning of the year, we want to start the year off right and get good and get into things. So that's kind of the hope. So that's my feelings. It's not like New Year's resolution or anything like that. This has been kind of like a thing I've been working on, you know, obviously for the last couple of weeks, right? With the upload schedule and everything like that. So we'll see how it goes. But hey, I just want to say I appreciate you guys a lot. You know, like I've mentioned before, you know, I get as much out of this as you get out of this watching, and I appreciate every last one of you, even the people who put the thumbs down on the video, because that means that you at least watched some of the video, and it is what it is, man. But I will catch you guys later. I think I'm gonna go inside and make some food, maybe, or I'll just eat another head of cauliflower, who knows. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Take it easy, homies. Peace out.